Today I went into my local card shop with $20 to spend, so I headed over to the $5 and under binder to check and see what they had. I got 13 cards today. I spent a total of $15.50. I got some amazing cards at a great value, some of them worth more than 10 times what I paid for them. Let's go ahead and take a look at these cards. I will be giving away your favorite card today in today's video. Just leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, let me know down in the comments what your favorite card from today's video is, and if you're chosen, I will send it to you completely free of charge. The first card I picked up out of the $5 and under binder was this base set Gyarados for $1. Obviously, this is not in very good shape. It's in pretty rough shape, to be honest. I would say this is more of a moderately played card. There's actually no creases or dents or anything heavy on this card that would put it in the damaged or heavily played category. It just has a little bit of edge wear all the way around. So I put it in the moderately played category. If you were to pick up this card in the near mint condition, you'd be spending right around $20 or so, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, because each one of the base set booster packs this comes out of, if you were to buy a heavy pack, for instance, you'd be spending over $300 for one pack of cards to even have the chance to pull a holographic Gyarados out of the inside of it. The PSA 10 price of this Gyarados is right around $500. So obviously picking up this card for my binder for $1 to me was just an absolute steal. In the moderately played condition, I would put a value on this right around $7 according to eBay sold, TCG Player, last sold as well. Damaged copies of this sell for $3, so even if this was completely torn up, it would still be worth 3 times what I paid for it. I would say this is an increase of about $6 in value based off of the $1 I paid for it. I can't believe I got this card for $1. It's actually super clean. I mean, if you look at this card, the holo isn't even really all scratched up. This is going to look really good inside of my binder. Picking up single cards from these older sets is basically the only way that you're ever going to complete a set of Wizards of the Coast era cards, or really any set in general. Sealed packs and sealed products have just gone absolutely crazy in the last few years, and it's just not realistic to open up packs for these holographic cards anymore. The next card that I picked up was this Neo Discovery non-holographic Entei for 50 cents. This near mint card sells for about $13 on TCG Player. In the moderately played condition, which is where I would rank this card, same as the Gyarados, there's no like creases or bends or missing pieces of the card. The front is actually super clean. The back just has a lot of edge wear. A lot of people would actually probably list this as just lightly played, but I would knock it down to moderately played. In moderately played condition, this card sells all day for $4 to $5. So picking it up for 50 cents is, 10 times more than what I paid for it, and it's just an awesome card. Neo Discovery packs will set you back around $250 to $300 for light packs. That's not even a pack with a holographic card on the inside of it guaranteed. That's just for the regular sealed light packs. And this is probably one of the best non-holographic cards in the entire set. The Shining Magikarp and the Shining Gyarados really drive up the price of the Neo Revelation booster packs. I think I might have said Neo Discovery when I first started talking about this, but this is the Neo Revelation mark here. Number 17 out of 64, just an awesome looking card. Definitely one of the coolest things I picked up from today's 13 card find. All right, the next card we have is a World Championships promo style card from 2006. This is the Espeon EX from the really cool Evolutions deck that Jimmy Ballard played in the 2006 World Championships. Just a really undervalued card. A lot of people don't even know that this exists. For the longest time, these cards were, $1, $2, $3 on eBay and anywhere else you could find them. This card actually sells for closer to $17, $18 now. The last old copy of this I saw was $18. So being able to pick this up for $1 was an absolute steal. I really enjoy these non-holographic World Championships cards. It really brings you back to, the time when these were actually played, and it's super unique. It has Jimmy Ballard's signature right there. And it's just not something that you see every day. These cards are not legal to play in the standard format or in the expanded format. So if you were to pick up a bunch of these, you wouldn't actually be able to play them in any legal tournament. Just for fun, you could definitely use them for sure. Evolutions are always awesome. This card I would say is in near mint condition. There's no scuffing. The corners are good, no dents. No creases, anything like that. So just an overall solid find. I think the majority of these cards had just been sitting in those binders for a very long time, and that's why they still had these prices on them. I was really amazed by some of the prices on these cards. It really makes me wonder how much people were selling these cards to this shop for. All right, the next card that we have is the Articuno Black Star promo number 22. Is this the Aoki error? This is the Aoki error. I did not check on that before I bought it. I usually just buy every Articuno card that I find. This card, you know, I spent $1 on it. You can probably pick one of these up for $3, $4 if you were to buy one for yourself. This is in probably light played condition at best. Near mint copies of this sell for like $3, $4. The sealed copies that were handed out at the movies whenever this released probably sell for closer to $11. It's not a crazy expensive card, but it's just an Articuno card. For $1, I couldn't pass it up. He actually did the ANA Articuno promo artwork that was released as like a boarding pass promo. It did come to the English side in Supreme Victors as a secret rare like 10 years later. But he's the one who did the artwork for that Articuno card, and Chimera did the artwork for this one. And the corrected version is actually the more rare card of the bunch versus the actual error. The error is the most common version, and if you find one that has the corrected artist illustrator on there, you should definitely pick that up as long as you can get it for a good price. All right, the next card that we picked up is this beautiful EX Ruby and Sapphire Beautifly card. Packs of this cost over $300. You kind of know the drill by now with these older style cards from vintage packs. The packs are just crazy, crazy expensive, so you're never going to really be able to complete a set unless you have a crazy amount of money opening up packs to complete sets. Picking this card up for $3, I was super excited to be able to do that. This card sells for about $7 or so if you were to try and resell it on eBay or TCG Player. It's been light played condition. It does have a white nick right there on the corner, as you can see, and then it does have a little bit of scuffing on the edge, but other than that, it's an extremely clean card, and it's going to look fantastic in my Ruby and Sapphire binder. Just look how good that card looks. Beautifly is just a really cool Pokemon. Whenever I was playing the older games, you know, like Emerald, Ruby, Sapphire, stuff like that, this was one of her Pokemon that she would use. Just a really, really cool card. I can't believe I was able to find this for $3. This is actually the most expensive card that I picked up from today's entire haul. Everything else is under $3, which is just kind of crazy when you think about it. Let me know what you guys think of the e-reader style cards. This was the first set that had the e-reader border. They did not have the scannable barcodes on these cards yet. That came with the next set after Ruby and Sapphire. Let me know what you guys think of these. Do you guys think these are undervalued? Most of the holographics from this set are under $10. And honestly, Ruby and Sapphire has some of the coolest pack art of all time. I think the coolest part of Ruby and Sapphire is the pack art. If I was going to collect something from this set, I think I would probably take the pack arts over any of the cards on the inside. The next card we have is this Fire Red and Leaf Green holographic Beedrill card. I paid $1 for this card, and honestly, this card is only worth like $1. I didn't like make any money off this value-wise. I didn't make any potential profit off of picking this card up. This is just a cool card in my opinion. I think Fire Red, Leaf Green, similar to how Ruby and Sapphire holographics are just super undervalued and super underrated. I know that this card has a lot of bends in it. As you can see there, it's got a bend in the corner there. Has a little crease down here as well. But I did not have this in my binder, and there's no way I'd be able to pick this up for $1 really anywhere else. If I were to try and pick up a damaged copy of this off of eBay or TCG Player, I'd be spending more than $1. So just having that little crease there does make it look a little bit worse when you put it inside of your binder. But for only $1, you can't really complain. One of my favorite cards that we were able to pick up, really, Fire Red, Leaf Green, Ruby, Sapphire cards are just really, really cool. And I think that they really deserve a lot more love than they get. All right, the next card I picked up, this is the second most expensive card that I picked up, was a base set 2 Poliwrath. Poliwrath is probably the worst base set 2 Legendary Collection holographic that you can pull. Really, nobody really likes Poliwrath. I personally think it's a really cool looking card, but it's just not as popular as some of the other cards you can pull. Obviously, if you get a Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise, Mewtwo, something along those lines, you're going to be way more happy than picking up a Poliwrath card. In my opinion, this is in pretty good shape. It's got a little bit of a corner crease there, and it has some whitening down the corner. I would say this is in near mint condition. Near mint copies of base set 2 Poliwrath sell for around $8 or so. So it's about a $6 value increase compared to what I paid for it, which is always a good feeling. Whenever you're able to pick up a card for a lot less than what it's worth or what you'd be able to sell it for, it makes picking those things up a whole lot easier because you know you could just sell it and you can at least make your money back and you get to have fun while you do it. Really cool card. I like base set 2's Cosmos Foil holographic pattern way more than I like original base set. If I could have a master set of either one, I would definitely take the base set 2, or I would just take the regular base set cards and sell them and get a couple of base set 2 sets, right? A base set 2 booster pack will set you back around the $200 right now. PSA 10 copy of this is only worth around $200. It's definitely on the lower end of the base set card. All right, the next card I picked up was this really cool Dragonite. This is one of the non-holographic fossil cards that I picked up. Honestly, this is in pretty rough shape. I would say this is more of a moderately played than a light played card. Near mint, this card sells for between like $10 and $15. It's a really, really popular card. It's basically the chase card from Fossil if you're able to pull this in the holographic version. This card is probably worth around $2, $3, so around a 3 times, value increase compared to what I paid for it. All right, going into the next card here, we have a Dark Golbat from Team Rocket. I paid $1 for this card. Honestly, this is in pretty good shape. It's got a little bit of corner damage right there that would actually push this down towards the damaged condition, but the front of this looks absolutely fantastic. This is definitely a binder copy of Dark Golbat. The front is great. The back is where all of the damage and imperfections really are. The surface is pretty clean as well. It just looks really, really cool. Near mint copies of this card sell for right around $15. I would say that this is a damaged copy, probably only worth like $2 or $3 just because of that edge damage there. But other than that, this looks really, really good. Some people would probably try and sell this for, a near mint copy. If you were to order a Dark Golbat off a TCG player near mint condition, you would probably expect it to come like this, to be honest. But I'm pretty hard on the condition of cards, and I always put the condition lower than what it actually is, just so I don't run into any problems like that. Team Rocket set, just really, really cool in general. All the Dark Pokemon, Dark Charizard from this set looks really, really cool. It's one of the few times that the Charizard card from the set is actually one of the best cards from the set. I'm a big fan of the Holo pattern in the Team Rocket set. Just a really good overall set. All right, the next card I picked up is this holographic Lapras card from Fossil. This card is in really rough shape. I would put this in very heavily played condition. Has a pretty big crease right there, and there's whitening pretty much all over the entire card. Even in this really bad shape, this card's still worth $3 to $4. Picking it up for $1, finding it in a binder for $1 was just a really cool and awesome experience. Being able to find any of these original sets, base set, Fossil, Jungle, anything really from base set all the way to like Gym Challenge, Gym Heroes era. Anytime I find holographic cards of those, and especially at these inexpensive prices, I usually just pick them up in general. You can never have too many of these awesome vintage cards. All right, the next card I picked up, Articuno. Basically, the only reason I picked this up, it's an Articuno card. It's in terrible shape. It's probably worth the $1 that I paid for it, but in my opinion, it just looks awesome. It's an Articuno card, so I had to pick it up. It's really, really damaged on the back, but if you turn it to the front, it really doesn't look that bad. This would look really good inside of my binder. I'm going to put it inside of my binder. These still sell for $3, $4 in damaged condition. I know that, $1, $2, $3 differences in value on cards doesn't seem like a lot, but whenever you have binders and binders full of cards that you picked up for $1, $2, $3, and they're worth, 3, 4, 5 times what you paid for them, that can really, really add up to quite a bit of money. All right, and the last 2 cards I picked up, it was kind of interesting to find these in that binder with all these vintage cards. They had a bunch of Radiant cards for $1 as well. I actually needed these 2 for my decks. I did not have these yet. You're only allowed to play 1 Radiant card per deck, so really I only needed 1 copy of each of them. So I just picked up the Radiant Jirachi, Radiant Alakazam. Honestly, these are super undervalued. If these cards released in any set before Sword and Shield era as a secret rare chase card, they would be so expensive. These are beautiful cards, some of the best artwork I've ever seen personally. I think these look better than Shining versions from like the Neo era. The holo pattern's good, and the holo foil on the Pokemon that's actually the Shining part is just better in my opinion. It's better quality, it just looks a lot nicer. And the Pokemon that they chose for the Radiance, they did a really good job. I'm a big fan of these, and picking these up for $1. These are actually worth less than $1. I think I saw Radiant Jirachi was like 75 cents and the Alakazam was like 60 cents. But I just went ahead and picked these up because I was already there, and I figured why not? It's only $1. Let's go ahead and grab them. Let me know what you guys think of today's pickup. Like I said, I spent $15.50. The amount of value these cards has is substantially more. The Espeon card was worth more than the $15.50 I paid for all of these by itself. Make sure you leave a comment down below letting me know what your favorite card was, and I'll see you in the next one.